The geopolitical chessboard of the Indo-Pacific region is undergoing a seismic shift. A whirlwind of change is sweeping across the region as Western companies embark on a strategic exodus of their manufacturing plants from China to Vietnam. This move, a calculated strategy to reduce reliance on China, is reshaping the economic landscape of the region. Vietnam, a rapidly emerging economic powerhouse, is at the heart of this shift. Its strategic location and burgeoning economy have drawn the attention of not just Western businesses, but also the world's two largest economies, the United States and China. As the tides of economic influence ebb and flow, Vietnam finds itself dancing on the delicate tightrope of diplomacy, balancing its economic ties with China and its burgeoning relationship with the United States. The stakes are high. The United States, keen to counter China's growing influence, views Vietnam as a vital ally in its Indo-Pacific strategy. On the other hand, China, with its historical ties and economic clout, sees Vietnam as a potential partner in its regional ambitions. The recent visit of Chinese President Xi Jinping to Vietnam underlines these complex dynamics, particularly in the wake of US President Joe Biden's trip to the region. At the heart of the discussions between China and Vietnam lies economic collaboration. Infrastructure projects like the rail project are not just about enhancing connectivity, they are symbolic of the evolving relationship between the two nations. Yet the shadow of the South China Sea dispute looms large, a thorny issue that Vietnam hopes to address during President Xi's visit. As Vietnam navigates these tumultuous waters, its upgraded partnership status with the United States is reflective of the shifting dynamics in the region. It is a testimony to Vietnam's growing importance on the global stage and its potential to influence the balance of power in the Indo-Pacific. In this complex dance of diplomacy, Vietnam's next steps could significantly influence the balance of power in the region. The eyes of the world are watching, keenly awaiting the unfolding of this dramatic shift in the Indo-Pacific region. To understand the current dynamics, we must delve into the annals of history. The relationship between Vietnam and China is one woven through centuries of intermingling cultures, shared borders, and sometimes tumultuous political exchanges. The two nations' histories are intertwined, dating back to the first millennium, when northern Vietnam was part of the Chinese Empire for over 1,000 years. This long period of Chinese rule has left a lasting impact on Vietnamese culture, language and governance. However, the relationship has not always been harmonious. Following Vietnam's independence in the 10th century, the two countries endured periods of conflict and cooperation. The Sino-Vietnamese War of the late 20th century, for instance, highlighted deep-rooted tensions that to some extent still linger today. Yet, despite past animosity, Vietnam and China have found ways to cooperate. The late 20th century saw a thaw in relations, with both countries recognizing the benefits of economic collaboration. Since then, they've become significant trading partners, with bilateral trade reaching record highs in recent years. However, it's essential to note that this relationship is not without its challenges. The territorial disputes in the South China Sea continue to be a thorn in the side of Sino-Vietnamese relations. This issue, amongst others, underscores the delicate balancing act Vietnam must maintain in its dealings with its northern neighbour. Nevertheless, the historical ties between the two nations are undeniable. Their shared history and culture, combined with their economic interdependence, make for a complex and multifaceted relationship. In understanding the past, we gain insight into the present. The intricate dance between conflict and cooperation, between shared history and future aspirations, continues to shape the relationship between Vietnam and China. And as we move into an era of shifting global dynamics, this relationship will undoubtedly continue to evolve. The past is a mirror to the future, and history has shaped the complex relationship that Vietnam and China share today. Economics, the lifeblood of any nation, is at the heart of the Vietnam-China relationship. The modern era has seen Vietnam and China, two countries steeped in history, forge a strong economic partnership. This alliance is not just about shared borders, but a shared vision for prosperity and development. At the heart of their collaboration lie significant infrastructure undertakings, like the groundbreaking rail project, designed to enhance regional connectivity and stimulate economic growth. The rail project is a testament to the power of collaboration. It's more than just tracks and trains. It's a powerful symbol of progress, a tangible bridge connecting these two nations and their economies. This monumental project is expected to boost trade, tourism, and economic integration, fostering a sense of shared destiny. But as they build bridges, they also face economic competition. The geopolitical landscape of Southeast Asia is not a two-player game. India, with its booming economy and strategic location, also presents a significant contender in this regional triangle. The economic dance between Vietnam, China, and India is a fascinating spectacle, full of strategic moves and countermoves, all aimed at securing the best position on the economic chessboard. While Vietnam and China continue to bolster their economic ties, the elephant in the room remains the economic competition. How will this trilateral economic relationship evolve? Will the scales tip in favor of one, or will a balance be struck that benefits all? Only time will tell. In the midst of these economic collaborations and competitions, one thing is clear. Vietnam and China are committed to their economic partnership. Their shared projects and initiatives are not just about infrastructure or trade agreements. They're about a common vision of prosperity, a shared goal of economic stability, and a mutual understanding of the power of collaboration. The intertwined economies of Vietnam and China are more than just numbers. They are a testament to a shared future. In the world of geopolitics, tomorrow's possibilities are born from today's decisions. As we delve into the future implications of the relationship between Vietnam and China, we must remember that the choices made today will echo in the years to come. The South China Sea dispute is a prominent issue that cannot be overlooked. Both nations have vested interests in this maritime region, and it's a delicate dance of diplomacy and power projection. China's assertive maritime activities have raised eyebrows, not just in Vietnam, but across the globe. If not managed carefully, these concerns could potentially strain the burgeoning camaraderie between the two nations. However, it's not all about disputes and disagreements. The economic collaboration between Vietnam and China is a beacon of mutual growth and shared prosperity. Infrastructure projects like the rail project are facilitating regional connectivity, fostering economic development, and creating a sense of interdependence. Yet, this relationship isn't isolated from the broader global dynamics. The United States, a significant player in the Indo-Pacific, is keen on strengthening ties with Vietnam. This is part of a larger strategy to counter China's influence in the region. Vietnam's upgraded partnership status with the US reflects this trend and adds a new layer to the complex geopolitical landscape. It's a delicate balance for Vietnam. On one hand, there's the historical, economic, and geographical proximity with China. On the other hand, there's the strategic advantage of aligning with the United States. It's a challenging tightrope walk, with potential to shape the future dynamics of the Indo-Pacific region. In this intricate game of chess, every move matters. The decisions made today, the alliances formed, the disagreements addressed, will all contribute to the narrative of tomorrow. The visit of President Xi Jinping to Vietnam is more than just a diplomatic event. It's a symbol of the evolving relationships, the shifting power dynamics, and the strategic maneuvering that characterizes the geopolitical landscape of the Indo-Pacific. As the winds of change blow over the Indo-Pacific, the future of Vietnam-China relations hangs in the balance. In the grand symphony of geopolitics, every note matters. We've traversed the complex landscape of Vietnam's role in the Indo-Pacific region, a role that is becoming increasingly crucial as the scales of power continue to shift. The nation's strategic importance cannot be understated, and its actions have attracted the keen eyes of global superpowers. We've delved into the historical ties between Vietnam and China, a relationship marked by a dance of diplomacy that stretches back centuries. These ties have been strained and strengthened in equal measure, creating a unique dynamic that sets the stage for their contemporary relationship. The economic collaborations between these two nations offer a fascinating look into the strategic alliances that shape our world. Infrastructure projects such as the rail project are not just about connectivity. They are a testament to the deepening economic cooperation between Vietnam and China, a cooperation that is reshaping the economic landscape of Southeast Asia. As we peer into the crystal ball of the future, we see a multitude of challenges and opportunities. The South China Sea dispute remains a contentious issue, a thorn in the side of Vietnam-China relations that needs careful handling. President Xi Jinping's visit to Vietnam is an opportunity to address these concerns, and it is a moment that the world will be watching closely. On the other side of the coin, we see the United States seeking to strengthen its ties with Indo-Pacific nations as part of its strategy to counter China's influence. Vietnam's upgraded partnership status with the US reflects this trend, a dance step in the intricate ballet of international relations. In the grand scheme of things, President Xi Jinping's visit to Vietnam covers multiple facets, from historical ties and economic collaboration to addressing regional disputes and the broader US-China competition in the Indo-Pacific. As we look towards the future, one thing is clear. The dance of diplomacy continues, and Vietnam's moves will be watched with bated breath.